Hello and welcome to this week's Sunday show. My name's Gail Moffat, and if you've been one of the lucky people to have looked at my channel, you will see that there are many people that are significant people in the spirit world that have chosen me to talk through. And this week I've got someone really interesting. Her name is Anne of Cleves, and she was Henry VIII's wife. And she's standing by the side of me, and she's getting ready to talk. And so I'm just going to invite her to sort of start talking with me. And okay. She says that, first of all, that she's very, very keen to speak her wisdom, because she says, as you know, that I was the one wife that got away. I wasn't suppressed within the realms of Henry VIII's court. In fact, he became a very, very dear friend to me, and I enjoyed his company very much. But alas, we were never really meant to be husband and wife. We were just companions at a time when we needed company. And I have to say that although Henry VIII was a formidable force within your world, he actually had some very good points that I would like to stress, and I would like to bring to you about his nature. You see, he could be angered quite easily, and we all know about that. But he was also quite somebody who was quite caring as well. He would worry about myself, and he would worry about whether I was being looked after properly, or whether I had enough money. He certainly prepared the way for me, that I had a lifelong security because of his support and help. And he always maintained to me, he always said to me that he would never let me down, and that he would always wish to make sure that I'm secure no matter what. Because he actually felt guilty and sorry that he'd plucked me from my home in Germany and taken me all the way to England without giving her the opportunity to see whether he actually wanted this. And he actually felt guilty about that. And she's saying, we often spoke about that, about how it was sort of an unusual situation, and laughed about it. Because actually, my life changed radically coming to England, but it also changed in a way that was positive. Because the positivity for me was having Henry as my friend, as my very, very dear friend. And we supported each other throughout our respective lives. And there were times also where I would give him good advice, and I would advise him on court matters. And he looked to me because he saw me as somebody that was quite wise, and he would often come to me with his difficulties or his problems and ask me for my advice, and ask me to give what my opinion was. And so I felt really honoured that he would do that for me, and I always tried my absolute best to give him the right advice and good advice. And I think I prepared the way on many occasions with good advice. As you know, Henry VIII now is in the spirit world, and he's with me and all of his wives. We're all together in the world, and we often have times together and times apart, but we are all very good friends, and we've remained friends for all those hundreds of years. And she says to me that she's saying Anne Boleyn has actually turned out to be his favourite wife, and he always looks to her now for advice, because she has since she's been in the spirit world, she has had many regrets about her actions, because she feels that she led Henry VIII on a path that should never have been led. She feels that we should have actually left the church alone and left them to be part, left the country to be part of the Catholic faith. And she actually regrets this action of taking the country through the Reformation. But I say, this is what Anne of Cleves says, I say that it's something that had to be done, because without it, we wouldn't have had the Church of England. And the Church of England is looks at religious life in a very different way from the Catholic life. And I say that for me, my preference would be to be part of the Church of England. But of course, everyone has their own preferences and own thoughts and ideas on this. Some agree with it and some don't. And this is very much, particularly in the life in the spirit world. Some people agree with things and some people don't, just as you do on the earth plane. She's just placed in my hand some sewing on, you know, when they have it on a round piece where you're doing embroidery, and she's just placing some embroidery, and she's making me feel that she did something, she embroidered something that was very poignant and is kept somewhere in one of the museums around the country. And I'm not sure, Leeds Castle, I feel it is, Leeds Castle. And she's saying to me that she would have embroidered the Henry VIII's motive, or it may have been his coat of arms, but there's some sort of motive that's linked to Henry VIII, and she embroidered that and she gave it as a gift to him on one of his birthdays, and she was very pleased to give that to him. She's saying that she's very grateful for you to be listening to her. And she says that she wants to come through again and again because she has other wise things to discuss in your world. But she wants you to all know, first and foremost, that all of us, his 6 wives, are all great friends, and we all spend time together and have a lot of love for each other. There is no disharmony between each of us. This is something that we've been able to create over the many years. She's saying thank you for listening, and if you are interested, so this is me talking now, if you're interested in any of the videos that I'm doing and the people that I connect to, please subscribe and press the alarm button so that you actually get notified when I place something new, and you can choose whether you want to watch it. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.